This is a basic tutorial for Adobe Premiere Pro 2022. I'm on a MacBook Pro. First thing you want to do is open the program. So we'll come down here, the little menu will pop up, come over to the launch pad. I actually have it here, but I'll show you how to get to it from the launch pad. You go to the launch pad, which is the square with a lot of little squares in it. Come up here to search, type in PR. There may be more than one version here. You'll want to pick the one that says Adobe Premiere Pro 2022. So let's open 2022, and you want to be patient here. It does take a little while to open. You'll notice it bounces up and down. It's just a really powerful program, so depending on your computer speed, it could take a little bit to open. All right, once it's open, you'll come to this screen. On the left, you have Home and Learn. If you want to do more in Adobe Premiere Pro, you can go to the Learn button. These are some great tutorials. The hands-on tutorials will give you step-by-step instructions inside of Premiere what to do. So these are great. They'll open up inside of Premiere and it will tell you what to do step by step. These are web-based tutorials, so you click on it and it goes to a website. You can download all the footage you need on the website and then it will walk you through what you need to do. These are also great. If you don't have a great internet connection, the hands-on tutorials may not pop up. So if they don't pop up, you just go to the tutorials on the web and do those, and those are just as good. So that's the Learn tab. On the Home tab, you have this. You have your recent videos. These are some videos that I've been working on. So if I wanted to open up G.I. Joe, for instance, I just click on it and it will open up and I can continue working. But right now I'm going to show you how to create a new project. So come up here. That will open an existing project if it's not down here. But come up here to New Project. We'll click on New Project. Okay, and then it will show this screen. This screen is new for 2022. 2021 will look different. It will just open up in a little box. Adobe has made the screen like this to make it easier for those just starting out on Premiere Pro. They had 3 easy buttons, or really 4, because you have the Home button, the Import, the Edit, and the Export. Right now we're in the import phase. The only thing we're going to worry about here is the project name and the project location. The project that we're working on in class is All About Me, so do All About Me for the name. And then the location, this will be the location for the project files. And we have our workflow in class, so we're going to go ahead and find the correct folder. Do choose location. We'll go to the desktop, and this class is Principles of AV first semester and project files. So go in project files. I told a couple of classes program files. It'll all be the same thing. So yours will either say project files or program files. Click on that and then click choose. Now, after this, every time you start a new project, it should automatically save to that folder. You should only have to set this folder once. Another thing you may want to do is where it says create a new sequence, you may want to turn that off. We'll create our own new sequence, and I'll talk more about that later. So all we've done is name it, we've told it where to go, and then we're going to hit create. This is called your workspace, where you work. Your workspace may not look like mine. It may look a little bit different. So let's make our workspaces look the same. In order to do that, come up here to Window and go to Workspaces. These are all the workspaces that are available. Right now I'm in the editing workspace, but let's say I wanted to do color grading and change the color of my film, maybe do some color corrections and some color grading. I'll click on color, and now I have all the tools I need for color, which is Lumetri Color, and then I still have my timeline and everything else. Now if I wanted to do graphics, you can go to the workspaces and you can choose graphics. Now it will open up everything I need to make graphics. Here are some pre-built graphics that you can use. So this will change your workspace. So in order to change your workspace in 2022, you have to go to Window and Workspaces. Now we're going to do editing. So I'm going to go Workspaces, click on Editing, and then that will bring up this workspace. Okay. Now it looks like I may have played around a little bit because I have Essential Sound in here, graphics. That's usually not in the editing workspace. So I'm going to reset my workspace. So if it doesn't look right, then chances are you'll need to reset it. So I'll go Window, Workspaces, Reset to Saved Layout. If you reset it to save layout, there you go. This is what it should look like. So if you're in the editing workspace, this is what the editing workspace looks like. Again, window, workspaces, and then it's editing is selected, and then do reset to saved layout, and then it will reset to the default layout for whatever workspace you have chosen. Okay, so now we need to import some media. In order to do that, we'll come over here to the bottom left. Each one of these little tabs, Premiere Pro calls these panes. So this is the media browser pane. This is the library pane, the info pane. And if you click on, there's the effects, so you can see effects. You'll notice that they're kind of coming out of the woodwork here. As I click on them, more come. That's because there's more across the top that you don't see. And then the ones over here on the left have disappeared. In order to get back to those, you just click on these two little carrots and it shows you the entire menu. So if I click on those, you can see I'm on info right now, but I want to be on project. So if I click on project, it kind of sets everything back to the way it was. So these little carrots right here, they show you all of the panes that are available in this little square. So you have project, media browser, library info, effects, markers, and history. Okay. So go effects, markers, and history will be the last one. Yep, history is the last one. So now click on these little carrots, go back to the project pane. In order to import media, you can either drag it in, you can drag it from anywhere on your desktop into the timeline and it'll work. But let me show you one of the better ways to do it. We're going to pull it in through the media browser. So we'll go to the media browser pane. And the first time you do this is not going to be the easiest because you have to search for your footage. It's usually going to be in the Macintosh HD drive, and then it will be in users. And if you come up here, it'll save you some time if you do the search. There's users. And then you want to type in your username. Mine is R-E. Actually, it's Russ Olson. There it is, Russ Olson. And you know that it's your username because it has a little house on it. None of these others, so the shared folder doesn't have a house on it. You can see that's my username, so I click on that. And then you want your desktop, okay? That's the next folder in, desktop. And now you'll find your principles folder. Your principles folder will be here on the desktop. So we'll type in principles of AV. Now, we had to dig deep to get this folder. So if you don't want to dig deep again, then you just right click and you do add to favorites. Okay? And then what it does is it adds it to my favorites folder over here, and I won't have to go looking for it again, which is nice. So there's Principles of AV in my favorites. And if I do the little caret to go down again, I have the folders that we created earlier, which is All About Me, Exports, and Project Files. You'll notice the project file, Adobe created the All About Me project and put it in that folder. Now I want the All About Me because that's where my footage is. So I'll click on the footage that I want to bring in. I'm going to click on the first one. I'm going to hold Shift down and click on the second one. If you hold Shift down, you can highlight all of them. If you hold down Command A, it will highlight everything as well. I'm going to right click on them and then I'm going to hit Import after right clicking. What that'll do is it will bring it over here to my project pane, and it's in a list view. That's why I can't see what they are. If you come over here at the bottom, you see this list view. If I click on it, that will give me a view like this. Right next to list view is icon view. So let's click on icon view and I can see the icon. So that's a lot easier to see. Icon view is nice. This view is freeform view. If I click it here, I can take these and move them around wherever I want. But if you're here, it stacks it automatically. So if you want to move around clips and organize clips, you do it here. So these are your different views. Now, there are a couple ways to start a sequence and start editing. I can drag the file in, but the only problem I have with dragging the file in, let's say this is, if you look over here, well, if you look in the list view, let's see if it shows me what the ratio is here. You'll notice this G.I. Joe. Here's the video info. It's 890 by 1288. That's not really video aspect ratio. A video aspect ratio is regular HD video is 1920 by 1080. And now if I drag this into my timeline and start editing, notice it is 890 by 1220. I go up here in my sequence settings, okay? That's what it makes all of your settings. The settings are the same. So now anything I put in this timeline is going to be in that setting. So if I take this Honda Civic, for example, it's going to make it the same setting as it made the others. See, this G.I. Joe one fits perfectly because that's the setting, but the Honda is a little smaller. So it takes the setting of the first clip you do and it makes that the setting for the entire project. So that's a problem if you're working with pictures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete those. Let me show you the best way to start a sequence. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make that an icon view. The best way to start a sequence is to go down here to this little piece of paper. It says New Item. Click on New Item. Go up to Sequence. And this ARRI, I found that to be a really good one. So you can do 1080p or 288p, which is really, I believe that's 2K. But this is regular HD. So ARRI, it's a type of camera. I'm going to do 1080p, 24 frames per second, 25. I do 23.976, okay? That's the exact number that you want if you're doing 24 frames per second. So I'm going to choose that. And now my sequence, whatever I put in there, will be that aspect ratio. So now if I take my G.I. Joe thing over here, it fits it inside my regular aspect ratio and the car as well. Okay? So that's the easiest way to do that. Now if I want to move the picture around, you click on the picture. This view shows you your edit view. So if I hit the space bar here and play it, space bar is play, this is what my video looks like. I can take these editing tools. There are a whole bunch of editing tools I can use here. And I can start editing, make that clip longer. Okay, selection tool. If you hover over it, it gives you some tools as well. But these are your editing tools in the middle. So you can come through and edit the video here. Okay. And if you want to change the size of that, just come up here to Effect Controls, the Effect Control pane. Click on Motion, and some handles will appear. You see a little handle here. If you don't see it, you can kind of move it around like that. Or if you change it from fit to 50%, it shortens your canvas so you can see it a little better. And then you can fit it to whatever size you want. So if it's not the right size, that's a good way to resize it. So that's a quick tutorial on how to use Adobe Premiere Pro 2022 using a MacBook Pro.